July the 9th, 2006, the World Cup final. Billions and billions of people watching. The greatest player on the planet, playing the last game of his career. And then, he completely lost his mind.
And he leaves his team in big trouble.
No screaming, no fight, no chaos. Just one moment that changed football forever. But here's the weird thing. People still don't fully agree on what actually happened. Did Marco Materazzi say something unforgivable? Did Zidane snap because of the pressure? Was it planned revenge? Or was the biggest moment in World Cup history caused by one sentence? Because 1 second Zidane was becoming immortal, and the next he looked like he was starring in WWE SmackDown. To understand why this headbutt became so insane, you need to understand who Zidane was. Because this wasn't just a player losing his head. This man was football royalty. Elegant, calm, untouchable. He moved like the ball was magnetised to his feet. The kind of player that made defenders look like they were spiritually beaten. By 2006, this was meant to be his final masterpiece. His last game. His last dance. And somehow, the script was perfect. France has stumbled through the group stage. People thought they were finished. Too old, too slow, past it. Then suddenly, Zidane woke up. Brazil, cooped. Spain, cooped. Portugal, cooped. The man started moving through the tournament like a retired wizard coming back for one final war. By the way, can we just talk about how terrifying bold footballers are? Zidane, Pep, R9. If a bold man starts controlling the midfield, your nation is finished. France versus Italy. Berlin. World Cup final. The atmosphere looked illegal. And 6 minutes in, Zidane did this.
It's Zinedine Zidane here. Oh, it crossed the line, it's a goal.
A Panenka. In a World Cup final. Off the crossbar. This man is either a genius or clinically insane. Imagine the confidence. Most people can't parallel park under pressure. This bloke tried art in the World Cup final. But Italy responded. Materazzi scored. 1-1. And from there, the game turns into war. Players cramping. Flying tackles. Pure tension. Nobody wanted to blink first. Because everybody knew. One moment would decide everything. They just didn't know which moment. Now, we need to talk about Marco Materazzi. Because if Zidane was football poetry, Materazzi was football terrorism. This man enjoyed chaos. Elite defender. Master wind-up merchant. And that matters. Because football history is full of players like this. Players whose entire job is psychological warfare. Not just tackling you, destroying your soul. Also, every Sunday League team has one. He's 40 years old. Breath smells like monster in regret. Calls everybody's son. Commits actual crimes at corners. Now, watch carefully. Because this is where football changes forever.
He certainly said something. Now what happens? He's saying some more. Well, the pictures tell the story.
Zidane and Materazzi are walking. Nothing unusual. Then Materazzi grabs Zidane's shirt. Exchange words. Zidane keeps walking. Normal football stuff. Except, 3 seconds later, Zidane stops, turns around, walks back to Materazzi and launches his head directly into his chest. Not a slap, not a push, A full human missile. The stadium freezes. The commentators freeze. The players freeze. No one knows what they have just witnessed. That wasn't some random player. That was Zinedine Zidane. Captain, leader, genius. And he's just headbutted a man in the World Cup final. Zidane's final ever match. Honestly, the funniest part is how he just walks away after. No apology, no panic, no explanation. He headbutts him, then he walks off like he's late for Tesco. Now, the entire world wanted to know one answer. What did Materazzi say? And immediately, the theories went insane. Some people claim racism. Others claim family insults. Somebody said it was about Zidane's mother. Others thought Materazzi had crossed the line so bad it broke one of the calmest players in football history. And for days, nobody knew. The mystery made the moment even bigger because everybody filled the blanks themselves. Eventually, Materazzi admitted what he said. Apparently, after pulling Zidane's shirt, Zidane sarcastically told him, "If you want my shirt, I'll give it you later." And Materazzi replied, "I'd rather have your sister." Now, is that disrespectful? Yeah, World Cup levels of disrespect. But people were shocked because that was enough to trigger that headbutt. Football arguments are 100% the worst and pettiest thing ever. Entire careers dead because someone says, "You're trim shit." But here's where it gets interesting. Because that headbutt wasn't just about one sentence. It was pressure, tiredness, emotion, the end of a legendary career. 120 minutes of violence and one final insult, the worst possible moment. Sometimes people don't explode for the final thing said. They explode because it's the last thing. Zidane had always had a temper underneath the genius, which great players always have. People forget that. This guy's been sent off before. He played with emotion, and that emotion made him brilliant, but also dangerous. And in that 1 second, everything boiled over. Then came the image. The image that everybody remembers. Zidane walking past the World Cup trophy. Head down, red card, career over. That is cinema. The greatest player in the world leaving football alone. The one moment of madness. And the craziest part, France had to still take the penalties. Their best player, gone. Italy win the World Cup. And suddenly, that headbutt becomes immortal. Also, imagine being that referee, trying to manage the biggest game on earth. And suddenly, a bold French wizard turns into a charging rhino. Here's the weird truth. That headbutt should have ruined Zidane's legacy. But somehow, it became part of it. Because football remembers emotion, human moments, imperfection. And honestly, that moment made Zidane feel real. Not just a football god. A human being who cracked under massive pressure. People debate it endlessly. Was Materazzi out of order? Should Zidane have ignored it? Did the pressure break him? Would France have won if he stayed on? Maybe that's why this moment survived. Because football's greatest moments aren't always beautiful. Sometimes they're chaos. One headbutt, one sentence, one moment of madness. Football history changed forever. The World Cup final, where genius became chaos. What do you think? Did Zidane go too far? Or would you have done the exact same thing? And honestly, what is the most unhinged football moment ever? Drop it below, because football is completely insane.